All right, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg, and here we are in the blessed surrounds of Area 52. And it's July 15th. Yesterday, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at the date, 7/14. I'm going, 7/14. Something significant is about that. And about halfway through the day, I went, Quaaludes. I almost forgot. 7/14. I just made the joke. I never was a pillhead. I never liked them a lot.
Yeah, Quaaludes are dangerous.
Yeah, they are.
You can get you into some nasty situations and you got to fight your way out.
You got to fight you on a Quaalude fight?
Of course, I have known.
Bro.
But that was the key. You take half a Quaalude and you'll fight anybody.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah.
The ones I took, they did the other thing to me.
The ones you took, you got a full one, not on your ass.
But only a half is an agitator.
Yeah, it's like drinking half a bottle of vodka. It's like in a chug,
Yeah, the things we do for love. Yeah. But, I knew a dude, Bob Lewicki, he's long gone. Best Chrysler parts guy ever. Had stuff memorized from the 60s.
Wow.
Amazing, like a savant.
Mr. Mopar.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And, but literally woke up, looked around, cracked a beer, drank all day, but his weekend, he said, just during the week I just have gravy. Then on the weekends I have biscuits and gravy. So, which of course is Quaaludes and beer.
Yeah.
And he was one of those guys, he would vehemently defend Old Milwaukee beer. It wins blind taste tests all the time.
Yeah, it's Old Milwaukee.
It really doesn't take that bad if you can look away from the can.
Old Spill.
Old Spill?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but hey, when you're making $1.67 an hour, the 25-cent beer is a good thing.
Some righteous cash, bro.
Yeah, the colder the better, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am imho.love here on the 15th day of July 2020, the most surprising year ever for everyone. This bouillabaisse of information that we're having to sift through on a daily basis, the whole pro-mask, anti-mask thing, the whole the counts, the numbers, the language, everything's a freaking tripwire. There's just blatant, now we have blatant manipulation of statistics for, I don't know, financial gain for the hospital. I don't know what it all is.
The United States statistics really don't match anybody else's.
Yeah, they're really kind of crazy.
They're so way out of line with the rest of the world. You got to really, we haven't screwed it up that badly.
Right. Sure.
So what are they doing to us? This is not conspiracy theory. This is what the numbers are showing. If you can't compare the numbers and say, holy fuck, look at that. What the hell's going on there? You shouldn't be watching this show.
Right. Yeah, it's, but we were talking about before, this whole scenario has a lot of people really looking inside themselves, and I'm very, very happy to be friends with many of them. I appreciate your awakenings, your clarifications, your decalcification of your pineal gland.
And your friendship.
And your friend, yes. Yeah, friendships become more dear in times like this, too. In fact, and this whole thing over the last few months, I'm living very close to my mom several days a week now. I get to see my mom every day, every other day, and that's phenomenal. I get to spend great time with my sisters. My brother and I talk, but we, when I was staying down there in Clearwater full time, but now I'm up in Brooksville part time. It's just really, the whole family thing just kind of filled in a lot of blanks for me,
Well, good.
And I think a lot of people are getting that kind of clarification. Whatever's really, because what used to be important is lacking levels of importance now.
Yeah, that's what they all say when they tow away the boat. Okay, and then it's a car next.
Dude, it's just not important anymore.
I never wanted one anyhow.
The boat salesman said my wiener would get bigger. But anyway, yeah, and there's a lot of stuff like that. Boats are one of them.
Yeah, they're chick magnets. You have birds of crap on them all the time.
Yeah. And you want to be with a chick that's impressed by your boat.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's a keeper. Till she meets a guy with a bigger boat. But, I've never been much of a boat guy. I had one boat. I had a 15-foot scumliner. And it had a little outboard on it. And I had the fuel hose going into a red gas can. And it had no instrumentation at all, except it had one little red light on the dashboard that let me know when I was running low on fuel.
Wow.
So I'd be out there in the Gulf. I mean, just up and down the intercoastal, just putting along. And then it would go, and then the little red light would come on.
Just in time.
Yeah, I couldn't afford sea tow. So I just
grabbed the rope, put it in your mouth, and started swimming and towing your boat.
I did.
That's exactly,
I did. Actually, I hand paddled the boat to a canal and I could drag it home.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's another boat owner's story.
And you know what? And I was done with it. It's so funny. Over the years, I've bought and sold a couple of boats. And really, I'm just one of those guys. I don't know much about them. I can tell the condition of things. I've lived in Florida long enough to know severe weathering versus moderate weathering. And, but I just, I never really got into the whole thing. And it's this weird little sixth sense of humor that I have. Every time I see a guy with a boat and the Suburbans opened up, all the people were standing outside with beach towels, and the guy's sitting there fanning the bearing that's on fire on his boat trailer. See, I'm a maintenance guy. And every time I see it, I go, what do you think?
It was the guy's first day off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Oh, and yeah.
Taking vacation time.
Pork chops are melting. Everything. Yeah, it's just... I mean, I've literally seen people having their picnic on the side of the road while somebody is working on the bearing on the trailer so they could eventually get there 4 hours later. Yeah. I just, I do have a nice psychology towards boats. I do enjoy an occasional boat ride. Yeah. I mean, I won't have sex with anybody to ride on a boat. No. But, I do have...
But if they offered... And she had a nice boat. And
Art, we've been friends a long time.
It just occurred to me.
But I do need to get back in tonight.
It just occurred to me. The name of the show is imho.love.
People have asked me that in the past, and that's why I always say, in my humble opinion.
Well, yeah, because I know you were looking for bigho.fuck. They haven't created .fuck yet.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, really? I did not know that. I've learned something new today.
I think it's on the dark web.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so matters. I just dark web matters. Wow. Oh. But anyway, folks, here we are. We're in the middle of the debacle, or the scenario, or the situation, however you want to put it. Apparently every politician from every angle is lying to us. You can't get a straight answer out of anybody. There are some really interesting things going on with high profile arrests and indictments.
Yeah.
And
Jan Herzan, or whatever his name is, had a MUFON.
Yeah, that guy. The MUFON guy.
Yeah, you know. And somehow I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, they're stuck in such a materialist paradigm.
Yeah, it's a precarious situation for somebody, though. I mean, if they really were experiencers, and then they just kind of looked at and made a business profile out of their experience, that's one thing. But some people had the experience and then they got kind of sucked into that whole world of promotion and telling your story. And and then they pump up your ego and make you think you're something special. And in a way you are. And
then they become a political organization, and then they suffer the same foibles that large political organizations.
Yeah,
screw them. That's why we don't have an organization. We're not organized at all.
We have disorganized religion.
We have a disorganization.
A disorganization. Welcome to the disorganization. But Mike and I are experiencing the same things you are. We're finding a lot of joy and release by not watching network news. Just limit your news sources because they are really, really, the propaganda machine is really running high and hard right now. So you're going to want to avoid it. Take it in small doses. Go to sources that you trust. But I can tell you, of the 6 biggest ones, there ain't a trustable one in there. They're all telling you something.
Yeah, I saw a post today. One of my Facebook friends was complaining that why is there so much anti-Semitism in the media? I was like, what planet are you on? They own the media, for Christ's sakes. And if you don't believe me, just go check it.
That's absolutely true. It's totally certifiable.
It's like, holy cow.
Well, but they also prop up their own anti-Semitism. For cause and effect.
Yeah.
You got to keep the sympathy button pushed. And everybody, I had a really great preacher a long time ago. He was in his 80s. And when I first started walking seriously with my Creator, I was in my early 30s and he was in his 80s then. And he told me, he goes, I've been all over the country. I preached the gospel in 40 states and this and that and the other thing. He said, I can tell you one thing I know for sure. Everybody you meet has an unbearable set of circumstances.
Yeah.
And it's basically true.
Yeah. Suffering is part of life. Get over it. It's like, it's so true. It's true.
It is so true. It's true. And, and hey, I'm as apathetic as anybody. Man, I'll sit there and listen to all your worst stories and cry with you and hold you up and
not care because you're apathetic and you're sympathetic.
Oh wait, I'm empathetic. That's me.
I'm just lazy. I'm not going to get up. Give me a beer while you tell me your story. We shouldn't be smoking the peace pipe.
Would you mop the kitchen? Empathetic. Sorry, I'm an apathetic empath.
I care.
I'll listen. I'll cry with you till you leave. Then I'll forget you were ever here.
I give up. I can't beat that man.
So, but anyway, no, empathy is my big weakness. I do feel other people's problems. I can feel vibrations of people that are hurting. And it's a blessing and a curse, man. It'll take you full spectrum within yourself, but you kind of got to be ready to go full spectrum within yourself. So, but Mike's right. That super sensitive, pillow soft, My Little Pony horseshit that, it works for some people and it's the only path to some people. But the other side of it is, as you view life and you watch people go through life, you'll find that people that have had a hard path or a tough path or a couple of rough seasons, they turn out to be better people overall because they understand that suffering is part of this whole thing. I've had my days, very light compared to some people, but more than other people would even want to imagine. So it's all a big sliding scale. And like I said, everyone you meet has an unbearable set of circumstances. But I wind up respecting people that went through the hard circumstances and handled it and came out okay, didn't, drain everybody else's life around them or let their life stop because of the problems that they had. And I've had friends both ways. I've had super strong, fighters, guys that beat cancer, guys that, lost wives and siblings and everything, and children and all that stuff. And just amazing human beings after the scars heal. They're still noticeable and they're bigger and tougher than the flesh that they tore, but still they're a scar. And then I've also seen people that have had just the softest life. Nothing really ever, compromised their situation. They got on a path and it rode down the middle of the road just fine. And there they were. I'm not taking anything away from those people. They had the integral balance that I was looking for. My stories kept going like this. But there was that one steady Eddie guy, that guy that worked at the post office 34 years, or the guy that had his own locksmith shop for 40 years. They hit a level and they stayed there. And, and it really does all kind of depend on who you are in the end. I mean, are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Do you feel as though you touched enough lives? And are you okay with yourself? Are you okay with the way your family is? How do you feel about everything, And if you're not, and that's where I find a lot of people, especially, I'm 60, people in my age group around this, both sides right now, they're really looking at life and going, man, is this what it was all about? And a lot of them really turned to alcohol real hard. A lot of them turned to drugs real hard. And then because they didn't get what they wanted, served the way they wanted it, they decide to torture themselves. And I think, I've been watching a lot of these little videos of the riots and stuff like that. And I hear these people screaming at each other at, top lung and, through a megaphone and all this. And I hear what they're saying, and, I don't appreciate the rudeness that all that is. But I can tell you, I understand that there's a lot of hurt in a lot of those words those people are saying. They do, they've been sold enough of a program, and they are self-reflecting and feeling bad. But the way they're carrying this out is not the way of peace. It's not the way of peace. This is the home of the Pacifist Riot. If you're going to make change, you should make it spiritually. You should make it internally. You should make it within your soul, within your being, within your activity, within your, your life. The way you run your life, everything you do, your religion, because religion really is, loosely translated, a way of life. So whatever your religion is, all 7 billion religions here on earth, how is it? Is it good? Is it peaceful? Is it kind? And that's what's important. And we're being tremendously distracted right now from that. They want to keep us off balance, so we're not having peaceful, congregative thoughts. And that's the other thing too, Mike, that I'm noticing. The churches are staying closed. You would think, you would think that there would be more rebellion on that level. People that I want to go worship. I want to go be with my people. But they're staying home, man. They're just watching it on TV like they're told.
Yeah.
And, and there's all the arguments for the mask, no mask, go out, don't go out. If you feel compromised, stay home. If you think you're sick, stay home. But, to sit there and bang the drum about something that you passionately feel about, and then the numbers just do not stack up. What were the numbers you were telling me before we were at? You remember?
I've read so much and so many, but
right.
Japan, has extremely low infection rates. Hong Kong, extremely low.
Those people are on top of each other.
Yeah, and we're talking about numbers that are you can count on your hands and feet.
Really,
It's just a shame what has gone on here with the statistics and the numbers and the skewing of the science, and then all of a sudden you have, Fauci saying, "Oh well, I wasn't right about some things." Well, no, dude, you're completely wrong. It's a fabrication. You knew it at the time. What about the $3.7 million that we sent to China for the for the development of the COVID-19?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah.
Nobody asks the questions because you got a press that won't.
Right, exactly. Sure.
And if you got the press that won't ask, it'll never be answered and never be put on the spot. That's probably why Trump, getting rid of him.
Sure. In the short game, so to speak.
Or at least cutting or getting the information sent to the White House as opposed to the CDC.
Yeah. But with all this, Trump's draining of the swamp, and just the viciousness of the Democrats.
Yeah, he didn't know the size of the gators in that swamp.
Woo, daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some big fighters in there. But politics, man, it's some ugly shit. And we're seeing it, and we're seeing the underside of this rock more than you would ever imagine.
Yeah, we're seeing the beginning of the American Communist Revolution. That's what we're seeing.
Oh, okay. What time you got, Mike?
It's almost 8 o'clock.
Oh, my watch died. How about that? Look at that.
Can you resurrect it?
No, it's done.
Still ain't moving.
Done.
Oh well.
Oh, but I'm at Area 52, so you never know. You never know. All the clocks could be stopped.
Hold it in your hand for a little bit. Shake it, see how it works. But,
So, well, and we also on the show we talk a lot about CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, and human-initiated contact experience, where we, as people, come in a collective consciousness, and we offer our spirit communication to our extraterrestrial family. And if you don't believe that there's somebody else out there by now, I don't know what it really takes to get you convinced. But they're real. They're here. They've been here. They're currently here. They're everywhere.
And you connect by finding the pathway. And that's what we, or at least I try to teach here. Mm-hmm. And, and it's, finding a community that can do that. We've had wonderful results out here when the people are right. When the people aren't right, we get nothing. And that's, that's just the way it is. If you have somebody out here who's afraid, who just doesn't know what it's all about, you're going to get zero results. And that's not unusual, but,
Yeah, well, the stronger and more harmonious the flow between the congregants are, there's really amazing stuff. But then when you have an erratic frequency in the group, somebody that's either afraid that they're actually going to see some kind of ET, or they're all the Hollywood movies are playing in their head about being abducted and probed and all the other stuff. Their vibration throws off the general vibration of the group. But our core group and several new people, we've had some beautiful souls out here the last couple of months.
A wonderful contact.
Really beautiful contact. And
they read the protocol.
They read the protocols, yes. And we'll just make the announcement if you happen to be watching the show as well. If you want to come to the CE5, Mike has a very simple request. He does need your name and number, and he wants to send you a copy of the protocols of appropriate behavior and activity while you're here. This is a private property, and he shares it from his heart. I mean, there's a lot to putting on these events. So if you want to, come out, you're more than invited. But please.
And you need to download the protocol. I'll send them to you. You need to download the release. You need to read it. You need to sign it, or you can't be here. I mean, what happens is if you think you're so entitled to be here, that you haven't read the protocols and you haven't done the release and all that, you don't belong here. You shouldn't be here. Sorry. I mean, this is a very tight group. I don't charge money for this, but I do ask that you be polite. And if you're not going to come after you've signed in, we only have 28 spots tops. And if you don't show up, then you lose your credibility completely. You say, "Oh, sorry, can't make it," because other people want to be here. Yeah. So if you're going to act like that, we don't want you. We got a good group here. You want to make contact. You want to understand what the spiritual nature of this is. Well, you need to know what and whom you are joining.
Yes.
Because if you're egocentric enough to only think about yourself when other people's experience is at hand and depends on your state of mind, if you're not honoring that, then you don't need to be here.
Well, right, and the fact that your lack of knowledge could hinder the vibration of the whole group.
And it's not like, look, I read the Dr. Greer thing. I really don't care. It's a different protocol. We it's not esoteric. It's democratic here. It's really simple. It's really easy. This is what I teach. We get great results. And I don't charge you $2,800 for 5 visits out in the field 5 nights in a row. So, this.
Maybe we should, Mike.
Maybe we should. It's free, but it's not without your responsibility.
But that's your true hippie spirit shining through there is what it is. Because for something that's as valuable as that, when you're in communion with 10, 15, 20, 25 other souls, and you guys are all collectively meditative, and your mind is open and your heart is open, and you've released the troubles of the world, and you're looking up to the stars, you're projecting the energy out of yourself, you're sending it up to the heavens. You want to commune with the higher levels of frequency that's available to us. I mean, every holy book says that this is totally available. And the hero of every holy book was one of these people. Okay? So figure that out. But here you have a group of people that have no monetary interest in you. We don't care what it's nice if you bring some deviled eggs or some, chips and soda. It's always nice.
Invade the picnic table.
Yeah, deviled eggs. Then that's great. That's great. But what you're doing is you're actually joining a circle of really peaceful souls. These are some incredible people you can't find anywhere else.
Who've had multiple experiences without you being there.
Right. So please, the invitation is there, but we want you to, respect it. Like, through the CE5, we met Derek. What a fantastic guy.
They're all fantastic. The members of the core group here are just fantastic. There's so much you can learn from them if you just, go through the path to the enlightenment, and you'll get there,
Sure, yeah.
So,
The thing about Derek is he's so multi-dimensional.
Yes.
He's deep as the Pacific Ocean, but he can be just as funny on a news topic that came out 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So he's a good dude, and of course, and Ken and Lee and everybody.
We've had so many experiences together. Contact experiences. It's like you can't help but love these people.
Oh, to change the subject, but not really change the subject.
Okay.
You've been in 2 of my dreams in the last week.
Nightmares.
No, they weren't. They weren't. Well, the first one was not. The second one was a little more scary. The first one was you and I were in downtown Tampa, like at 50th Street, together in the little industrial park there.
Right.
Okay, all the garages. And you had a garage. You had a 4-car garage, and in there you had a Stanley Steamer. You had a Pierce Arrow. Okay, you had an old Buick. And there was something else under a cover that I couldn't see what it was. And I go, Mike, and they were all from the 20s, maybe 30s at the most.
Wow.
I go, what are you doing with these? And you said, well, my dad left them to me. I go, so are you going to do anything with them? And you said, no, that's where they are. That's their place.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It really defines me.
Yeah.
The car. My father left me his 68 Toyota station wagon.
Oh, what a great car. Corolla?
Yeah.
2-door wagon?
Yeah.
That car was badass.
A little nomad,
Yeah, those are great. Those are great. And the second dream was scary. I had it last night at my sister's house. I was with a group of people, and there was a I had a significant female with me, but I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was. And we were walking together in a group, and you were like the leader of the group, and we're all getting ready to go into this civic center. And all of a sudden we hear this roaring of jet engines, and she lives near the airport, so maybe that's what happened. This roaring of jet engines, and we look off, and here's a plane doing a nosedive into like the mall next door. And we all hunkered down, and I'm yelling, get down, get down, get low, get low. I said, that cloud's going to roll, and there was fire and dust, and we all got down underneath this pickup truck, and it blew over us. And
good thinking, Lou.
Yeah. And then after the dust settled, we got up, and we went inside the Civic Center, and there was hardly anybody there. And we went, hey, weren't you supposed to put on that program? And they went, no, we knew the plane crash was going to happen. And then I woke up.
Yeah, that's prophetic.
So, yeah, man.
And the numbers on the plane were
666.
COV-19.
Yeah, so I really love my beautiful Beth that owns the Om shop down there. She gave me this lucid dreaming pendant a couple of years ago, and I wear it every day, and it has brought me some beautiful lucid dreams. Hi, everybody that watches the show all the time. She's beautiful. Pamela, thank you. And, of course, the Debbies, thank you so much. And Caroline and Susan and Chris and Ralph. Nice to see you, Ralph. My buddy Ron, was my best friend when I was in my mid-teen years. There was a little thing on Facebook the other day that said, what did you take your driving test in? Do you remember?
Yeah, a 1972 Suzuki TS 400J.
Oh, you took it on a motorcycle. That's right. You had a TS 400J.
Yeah.
I had a TS 90J when I was a kid.
Wing ding ding.
Yeah, it was a little wing dinger, 11 horsepower. That thing was awesome.
Good bike to ride on.
And then as I got older, I had a Suzuki 380. Which was a triple.
That was a great little bike.
Triple two-stroke.
That was cool.
Yeah.
You could do donuts in that thing and just,
They were great.
It would forgive you, yeah.
And for a short period of time, I had a Suzuki 750 water-cooled, the Water Buffalo. I love that bike.
Did you?
But I took my driving test in Ron Baker's 72 Vega, which was probably the easiest car to drive in the world.
Yeah, it's like you got parallel park, you got a 20-foot spot with a 6-foot car.
And it was this little 4-cylinder automatic with power steering.
Yeah, the aluminum engine with the metal sleeves.
What a bad car. Yeah, they were bad.
But if you got a Cosworth Vega, you got a really fast bad car. It would last, 50,000
the
miles.
bodies on those, like a 76 Cosworth Vega, I mean, do away with the reputation that it has, and look at the lines on that car. Mm-hmm. That car really was like Ferrari quality lines. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good looking car, but the problem is that a Chevrolet engine.
Yes.
Small.
Well, the Cosworth motor ones were good.
Yes,
they actually had a Cosworth engine in them. Nobody knew how to work on them. Nobody knew how to tune them. But they were linking the Cosworth twin cam motor with GM light duty drive lines. So it really never. It was a light duty fun car. Yeah. I drove a couple of them when I was wholesale, and I had a couple of them over the years. I sold them quick because if you let them sit for 2 weeks, something was going to break.
So. Yeah, like the heart of the guy that bought it.
Well, you know what though? Everybody that ever bought one was they had squirrel nuts hanging out of their cheeks when they showed up. Yeah. It was it's a unique taste in automobiles. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we sure appreciate you watching, and we're here every Wednesday night at 7:30. And
what's the subject tonight?
Somebody's lying.
So, okay, good.
Somebody's lying. Oh, you want to get started?
Yeah, why not? It's a long introduction, but we can get started. It's
what happened? My watch stopped and really threw me off.
We can tune you up here.
Okay,
here we go.
I think we actually covered somebody's lying.
Covered everything already. There we go.
Yeah, we got that. Oh, look at that, man! Just like real life. Yeah, and I just as a guy. It seems these people that get on that television are way more prone to lie than people you'll meet next door. The fact that they can get on television either changes their constitution as a person, thinking that they can lie because they're on television and they're some kind of persuader or influencer. But if you meet that same person in real life, chances are they're not going to be like that, or someone like them. Whoever's like what. But I just, it really does bother me, the bullshit level that everybody displays these days. And I heard this phrase a long time ago, and I've used it, but I've never really cared for it, was it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. And that's the rule right now. You can print the most horrible thing about somebody, about some completely made up situation that's just horseshit all the way, bumper to bumper. And all you have to do is write a retraction after you fight about it for 4 months. So the story stays out there. You make your point, you make the damage, and then at the end you retract it on
a page. The lie remains the truth.
Yeah, and the lie rang so long, and fact checkers, even fact checkers are such horseshit too. You find out who's paying the fact checkers, and of course they're gonna, it's like the home team umpire,
Yeah, they find out what the fact checkers are actually doing, pole dancers in a prior job.
Sure, yeah, yeah, be a fact checker, and here's the facts that you can check. So,
yeah, smells a little Snopey to me.
Yeah, I've not personally checked up on this, but those people were like from some nefarious background and just, through an inside line got hired and built a logo and all that other stuff. And, I tell you what, a lot of people, they foo-foo the alternative news, anything that smells like conspiracy. But you know what? There's an assload of conspiracies going on right now, and there's a lot of them, just plumping up right before you. This situation that we have right now with the preparation for the election, and you got everybody, the riots and the masks and all those horrible videos of people being so brutal to one another. But I'll tell you something about those videos like that. There's a bunch of them, okay? But what happens is they get great sustain because our brains, in a sick way, a lot of people like to see that. They like to see somebody get beat up. It's really weird. Well, that's why prize fighting's so big. You know, they really like to see people get beat up.
It would be like Otto Schadenfreude.
Otto Schadenfreude.
It's like something like that.
Yeah. But and that's one of those things that also helps you deal with fear. When you have violence in the back of your brain and then you have violence presented right in front of you, it actually does help balance you out. Because if you approach it from the other way, if you're all peaceful and serene and evil and even, and all of a
sudden, too. Evil. We all have a dark side.
Let your evil be quiet for a while. Yeah, and then like you're all mellowed out and you're all in a good place, and then you see something horrible happen in front of you. You have a more drastic response to it. But if you have been watching the news and watching people get beat up and yell and scream and holler, and you're watching YouTube clips and TikToks and this and that and the other thing, and everybody's getting beat up and yelled at and screamed at and this and that. And then when you see it again, you're kind of desensitized to it. therefore not helping your vibration at all, actually declining your vibration and amplifying bad vibrations. So you're sharing a lot of bad vibrations with all these, video clips that we share about people getting their ass beat. And, we need to chill out on the negativity. And that's why we didn't do blow for blow on the show today. We never really do, because I'll be very, very honest with you. The amount of research it actually would take to do a very, very accurate and truthful video cast, the fact checking alone, seeing as you have to check like 2 or 3 or 4 sources now, because you can't just go to one. There's no central scrutinizer on this. Absolutely exhausting. So what we're saying, Mike and I believe this. Everybody has a price. So most of the people that you're listening to have been bought at some level. All the political parties have agendas. They will lie right to your face to get their agenda down the avenue past you. And a lot of this, and this is on both sides, man. This is hard stuff to figure out. But what we like to say is don't play into the way they're feeding it to you. Take a step back. Know that you are a child of the universe, that you are a remnant of the Creator's spirit, that you are full of love, that every little cell in you is just full of wonder and joy. And you are that peaceful, mellow person that was alive and breathing deeply 6 months ago. But we've been barraged by the media, the television, people, talking heads, newspapers, videos, social media, texts. We're just constantly being barraged. I check my phone every day, and I do appreciate everybody that sends me stuff. Thank you very, very much. But man, like you open up the, just the bad things, just bad thing after bad thing after bad thing. And, you just kind of get a little numb to it. So I take it on, I can almost recognize them by the little avatar that they have advertising. Oh, I've seen this one or whatever, and I don't have to expose it to myself again. But what I'm telling you is, if you recognize this, I can share with you that is not your way to healing. That is not the path that you're going to be better. You need to step away from that. You need to let that neutralize, like the Italians say, let it grow whiskers. And you step back and you go back to who you were. You go back to that even, mellow person. And then look at it from different eyes, man. Don't get caught up in the slurry, because it's not true. The slurry is not true. It changes moment by moment by moment. Everything we've been fed these last 3 months or so, so much of it is just complete horseshit. And we're going to find out one day how much horseshit it was. The internet is the beginning and the end of all this. It is, there's several people that believe that this is just for the expanse of 5G and the Internet of Things, which could very easily be a very, very heavier system with a one world currency and the mark of the beast and the sign of the dumb animal and all that stuff. It very well could be that. It could be playing into all that. The chemtrails, everything that's going on. It's all happening at once. But you have inside of you the ability to be beautiful, peaceful, calm. Mike, a constant student of the Tao.
I need to be, otherwise I'd be like wild and angry.
Right. Well, you're too damn big to be wild and angry. I can tell you that. But I just did a Fred Willard impression. Okay. But
nobody knows who Fred Willard is anymore.
Which makes it so much cooler. But anyway,
I do Chuck Woolery, but nobody knows.
Killer Chuck Woolery, dude. And as you sort things out, and you do your breathing and you do your meditation, you create like a little dome over yourself at times where you can just isolate yourself from the world and just be your inner peaceful person, be your fun person, be your kind person, be your pleasurable person, and spend more time there. There's no rule that you have to go back out and hop back on Facebook and find out the next dastardly thing that they're telling you about. So let that stuff rest. Stay away from the TV. We've been saying that for a few weeks. You will find yourself feeling better. There's days I don't watch it at all. And those are good days. So anything else, Mike?
No, but what I've been doodling is a UFO and Hitler dressed as a clown meets an alligator.
That's your doodle?
being chased by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's funny. I always thought that the Catholic Church could do an anti-masturbation campaign with T-Rex as a mascot.
The mascot. It's like, I thought that was what confessionals were for.
T-Rex says, don't yank it. Jesus can see you. He can see you yanking it. So, and that's another thing. That's like...
Hey, yeah, and if you're into, spirits who inhabit the land, they're always watching.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're never free. You're never shy of anyone's eye, yeah. But, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the imho.love show. Feel free to like, share. Our lovely producer, Kathy McGuire, puts the show out for us on YouTube. And it gets out there on BitChute and Podbean. And there are other links too. Facebook Live, it stays up for a while. Yeah, like I said, feel free to like it, share it, subscribe it. That BitChute page is really good. I mean, that's really expanding. There's a lot of people heading over there. Facebook's been kind of okay with us, so I guess we're just saying we're falling short of saying something wrong.
We're their tokens.
Token old hippies,
so to speak. Two old guys on a microphone.
Well, Mike brought me a gift. This is The Law by Frederick Bastiat, and I will read this. So if you guys want to read along with Lou, I will be reading The Law by Frederick Bastiat. Next week there's some beautiful wisdom in here, just and nice size little quotey things too. So we'll have some of this on the show next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Be kind to each other. Kiss babies. Hug your mama. Tell your daddy you love them. Don't get mad. Just let it go, man. Just let most of it go, because 99% of it is just little shit. So, like we say every week, use your head, trust your gut, and your heart will take you home.
Thank you. Peace, y'all.
Thank you, Mike. Good show. Good show. Thank you. Alrighty, and we're saying good night. Thank you, everybody. All 13 of you listening right now. Love you.